Concerns over the rising food poisoning incidents in Gauteng. The Gauteng Health Department saying the province has recorded more than 800 incidents of food poisoning in just 5 months. In the latest incident, a grade 1 pupil from Tsakane passed away and 4 more were admitted to hospital after allegedly consuming biscuits that were bought from a Spaza shop. Well, let's get a clear understanding of what's going on here, and we're joined in studio by Christina Moumakwe. She is the Acting Director for Public Health, that's in the Gauteng Food Safety Control. Ms. Moumakwe, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your time. Let's begin the conversation with why this is happening, you believe. 800 incidents in just 5 months.
Okay. Good evening, viewers, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And good evening, viewers at home. At this moment, yes, it's a high rise of numbers of cases that have been recorded, but as a Department of Health, we are busy with inspections for the Spaza shops, with law enforcement. We even established some food blitz that are happening currently. We've got the consumer protection, we've got the SAPS, we've got town planning. Majority of these places that are happening where the Spaza shops are established is because of the lack of zoning. So people, they just wake up in the morning, now there is a Spaza shop. But as a Department of Health, we are busy monitoring those places.
So let me ask this question, because I think it's one that is everyone wants to know. Where is it that the owners of these Spaza shops source their goods from? Because perhaps that would be the source of the problem.
Okay, we have done investigations from most of the Spaza shops. With the recent incidents, the one which has happened in Tsakane, we even managed to get the barcode or the address or the manufacturer's information where they bought these products. But we have identified that they are not just buying in one point. They are buying in different areas. But as the Department of Health, we are visiting those manufacturers and also monitoring food safety issues. How are they preparing the products? How are they storing the products? And also trying to enforce issues of pest control. Because we can see that there is some bit of contamination that is happening maybe at the point of generation or at the point of source, or maybe at the normal Spaza shop where it's been bought. And there might be some contamination maybe during transit of the food products.
The communities that get affected by this, you will often see them rising in anger and possibly burn this Spaza shop. What responsibility do you have to hold that Spaza shop owner accountable for the alleged crime that would have occurred?
Okay, with the recent case, we have managed to give a prohibition notice, and we identified that that Spaza shop did not have a business license. So, which means the Spaza shop, when we left on site, the Spaza shop was closed. We also encourage the community not to cause any violence, because violence does not really solve problems. But at the same time, we try to educate them and also guide them on the necessary documents that are needed for them to operate. But currently, the Spaza shop has been closed, and we are also requesting them, we said to them, until the food samples have been collected, because we also collected some food samples for analysis, for chemical and also for biological analysis. So we indicated that until the results are back and until they comply, that is when they can operate.
Consequence management, because that's what people want to see happen, particularly in a case where there's going to be a death. And so where do these people end up? Here's a Spaza shop owner accused of having sold contaminated food to a learner, and that learner ends up dying. What happens to the Spaza shop owner?
As a Department of Health, because we are working with SAPS and also with Metro Police, so when this law enforcement has been done for them, so they should be able to, the Metro Police should be able to take ownership of the individual. But currently, until we've got the autopsy results, that's when we can really say, yes, it was a contamination from a Spaza shop, or it was just a contamination from somewhere else. So it's a bit difficult for us to conclude for now until we've got the autopsy results.
the warning to Spaza shop owners who could be selling contaminated food? What is the warning to them, particularly as it relates to people who are going to eat their products and end up in hospital?
Okay, currently the Environmental Health Unit that is based at the municipalities are doing day-to-day routine inspections on the Spaza shops to ensure compliance. And also if the Spaza shop operates without a certificate of acceptability, that Spaza shop is given a prohibition notice, which means for them they need to go and follow the proper guidelines, and they need to go and apply for the proper documentations for them to operate.
Yeah.
But for now, we are also providing health education. It's not just a warning. Among the things that we do, also provide health education for them on the requirements for compliance.
Can I understand this? Your department, the Gauteng Food Safety Control, do you work closely with the South African Bureau of Standards, that's SABS, or is that something completely different?
We do. It is in another window, but we do work with the consumer protection. We also work with NRS. We also work with the law enforcement, with other stakeholders, Department of Agriculture and the rest. But with the Bureau of Standards, yes, they do assist us with compliance, but at the same time it's on another window, in such a way that we even engage the border management that also looks into the imports and the exports of food that is coming to the country.
Specifically, the role players in monitoring consumables. This is food that gets consumed by people. Who's the direct authority there? Is that you?
Yes, it is the Environmental Health Unit within Gauteng Province and at the municipal level.
Yeah.
They are the ones that also look into the compliance of the Spaza shops on day-to-day basis. We even have established some weekly blitz just to ensure monitoring of the Spaza shops. Just to elaborate on that, around the Tsakane area, we have even created some awareness. So, but this is not just now, but it has happened since October last year.
And that's why I was actually going to interject there, because if indeed you were acting on these, because it's not the first incident, why is it that we're seeing more and more of these incidents? Because it leads to a question, how many inspectors are there within your space who are monitoring every corner of Gauteng?
For the inspectors, I think we've got about 900 inspectors for the whole province. But in the meantime, remember, these Spaza shops are mushrooming every day. So which means we are failing to cope up with the number of inspectors. But on daily basis, we came up with the strategies of inspecting all the Spaza shops that we know. Unfortunately, when you turn on the other corner, there is a new Spaza shop, so which is really operating. But we also, this is not just an environmental health item, but we need all the stakeholders to be on board. We need the councillors to be on board. We also need town planning to be on board to assist us and also report these new Spaza shops that are operating maybe in the backyard.
How can communities help you? What is it that they've got to look out for? You mentioned earlier that if you don't have a permit or some kind of license to operate, are those some of the things that communities should ask for? And if they don't get that, who do they report to? We
have our normal, if a community member finds that a Spaza shop is operating without any permit, they can report in our nearest offices. In each and every municipality, we have our offices that are operating from 8 o'clock until 4:30. So if there are issues, each and every small town, there are municipal offices that are operating there. Then the inspectors will go just to verify the information, because the community might think this is a license and this is not what is expected. And we also request the community members just to look for the proper items. If the item is labeled properly, if the item is not is packaged properly, if the environment is clean, because we have seen that most of the Spaza shops, people are even sleeping there. So it is the responsibility of the consumer or the client to monitor the place before you can buy it. So it's not just like You take your money, then you just buy. So cleanliness is very, very important.
Yeah.
And we've also seen that there are some chemicals that are just kept around the food, so which is the non-compliance. So then the EHPs will come and do the audit and also provide health education and awareness on the Spaza shop owners.
All right. Christina Moumakwe, let me thank you very much for your time. She is the Acting Director for Public Health, that's in the Gauteng Food Safety Control Department.